I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this, and that's okay. But you got to make a man respect your absence. That doesn't mean be manipulative. Please don't be manipulative. That doesn't mean that you give ultimatums or that you stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out, especially with a man that's head first, all in, doing his part, communicating, caring, etc. No. But a lot of y'all have this notion of unconditional love. And who are you giving it to? Men who feel like they ain't got to meet a single condition of keeping your heart safe. And you're ultimately wasting that love on a man when he knows he doesn't have to meet any kind of standards and he doesn't impose those on himself to meet you where you're at or reciprocate. At some point, especially if you're not clear, you're not sure. You know, this thing may be kind of new. Or maybe it's not new, but this situation seems different. He's been through some things and he's told you some things. Or maybe there's some good and you're trying to navigate and see if it's really all that bad. This other stuff that comes with it. I'm going to tell you how to see his true colors. You got to leverage your absence. You got to do the very thing that scares you the most. And most times it scares you the most because you feel like, well, I wouldn't want him doing that to me. Sis, you wouldn't do to him what he's already doing to you. You wouldn't do to him what he's already doing to you. You wouldn't take him for granted. You wouldn't ignore all the attempts to be an assertive communicator. You wouldn't disregard all of the consistent efforts to show that you care. Of course, you wouldn't want somebody to do those things to you, and you wouldn't deserve it. But when you're dealing with a man, and maybe it's not clear cut. You see, even a man who means you well, he could possibly have gotten distracted or have a lot of things going on. But I'm telling you now how to see his true colors. What's up, Nadine? And Happy New Year's, everybody. You got to leverage your absence. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to make a man respect your absence. If he's not valuing your presence, then gift him your absence. If he don't seem to care that you trying and that you showing up and that your love is there, please stop wasting more of what he's already taken for granted. Like the whole unconditional love is contrary to the fact that your heart requires certain conditions to be met in order to be safeguarded. If you say, how do I keep my heart safe? You're going to list out conditions to keep your heart safe. There's going to be respect. There's going to be honor. There's going to be transparency. There's going to be consideration in the way that he talks to you, in the way that he talks to others. There's going to be conditions. How can you give something unconditionally from a place that requires conditions to be functional enough to keep giving? Help me understand that. How can you unconditionally pour from a cup that has a certain condition of being poured into to be able to pour in the first place? So one way that you're going to use your absence in 2025 so you can stop getting your time wasted. And this is part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow in the live masterclass. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. So if you want the full conversation tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to steer clear of men who will waste your time because they are commitment phobes. I put the link down here in the comments right here. Tomorrow, Saturday, January 4th, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going live to do a real deep dive, but I'm going to tell y'all off the bat, stop being a man's emotional weather vane. Stop being the one who always checks to see how he's doing. He ain't checking in on you like that. He ain't texting you. He ain't noticing shifts in your energy. He ain't remembering that you said you was going back to work today and it's been stressful lately, and he ain't checking just to make sure you're good. He ain't heard that you had some challenges going on in your life, maybe in your family, that you've been a bit overwhelmed. And, you know, without you having to say it all over again, he ain't been saying, hey, love, what's going on with you? I mean, you said this was going, he ain't checking to see. You got goals that you put on the docket to get done, and he ain't checking to see. How's that coming along for you? You all right? Stop being his emotional weather vane. Y'all practice so much empathy for people who ain't practicing it with you. And I understand. It's like, well, Derek, I don't want to play games. Let me tell you something. It's all good to not want to play games. But whenever a man is playing you, all you're doing is getting played, but not recognizing it and removing yourself from that game. So this will let you know, is he really playing games? Because if he's playing games, if he's really playing in your face, he's not going to care. You backed away, he's not going to care. He may guilt trip you. He may guilt trip you. But when a man truly cares about you, sometimes that absence is a great way for him to see, like, whoa, I get it, you know? Let me restore the connection the right way. I've let things kind of slip down the priority list. I've been so so focused, so head first into all of the things I got going on. Let me make sure my priority list aligns with my verbalized commitments. Let me make sure. Let me get that together. And so your absence isn't playing a game. It's after you've already tried to assertively communicate and let him know how you feel, what you need, what you want, and you're noticing like, that's not getting across to him. So maybe it's another language that I need to speak. Because we love to say that nonverbal communication is the most important form of communication. But then we get afraid to non-verbally communicate when the verbal communication is seemingly falling on deaf ears. Straight up. So if a man is truly caring about you, he's going to seek to restore connection. He's going to seek to dive in. Wait, are you okay? Like, I didn't hear from you today. I've noticed this. I've noticed that. But if he don't, that silence that he gives you, or him trying to take the route of guilt tripping you, knowing that it's been one-sided and you checking on him, that's going to give you all the confirmation you need to know. Now you can remove yourself from the game. You don't do this as a way of operating a relationship completely or for the long term. You do this to get a definitive confirmation and understanding of who you're dealing with. Your absence, it will reveal a man's true colors. You just got to stop self-imposing guilt for withdrawing and removing yourself from somebody who's already made you question where their intentions are and what their intentions are. For those of y'all that are double texting a man whenever he leaves you on red for hours, it's time to substitute all of those follow-up text messages with your absence. This time to follow, hey, instead of double texting, triple texting, okay, he's busy. He always got something to say after the fact. I'm so busy. Okay, cool. Your absence now needs to speak for you. No more begging, no more pleading, no more lecturing. There needs to be a sample size of what's to come if this is how he moves. And again, it's more so about giving yourself clarity. Your assertive communication is, you already done your part. You already made it to where he don't gotta read your mind, right? You already said to him, hey, I'm not really feeling whenever you see my messages or when I text you and you're still online and you're still doing this, that, and the other, and you just get to me whenever. I'm not really feeling that. You've already done your part. Now your absence is going to reveal where is he at really. He can explain and this, that, and the other, but where is he at really? If you still need that confirmation. Match his energy. I'm not talking about matching his energy and becoming a bad person, but withdraw some. He's made you uncertain about his intentions. Now allow yourself to be uncertain instead of gaslighting yourself to continue being certain despite what he's doing. Allow yourself to be uncertain about where he stands. It's okay to be uncertain about him. But it's not okay to be uncertain and still investing and pouring and, giving him everything as if he was truly earning you. Now, if he notices, wow, I haven't heard from her. I mean, she don't even text me as much no more, but he hasn't been responding and he cares about you, he's going to say something. You okay? You all right? I noticed something's wrong. If he don't care, he's going to find somebody else to fill in those gaps for him. He's going to find somebody else who's willing to overcompensate for his lack of energy and effort into that connection remaining. And guess what? Let him. What up, Janice? Let him. Or if you see that you've expressed your needs to this man, Hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is what I want. I want more time out the house. I don't want to be in the house all the time. I want to go on a date again. I want to, just spend time connecting with each other without, splitting time with our phones and scrolling and watching the game and this, that, and the other. I don't want to do that. I actually want to spend some real time. Hey, I don't want to just have sex at the very end of the night when we don't have any energy. I want to really reserve time and energy to connect intimately and, bring us both fully into the experience, not just get you off. Like, I want to do this. I want that. We grown here, right? We could talk this real talk. But you didn't express your needs clearly. And there's no change. You see, of course, withdraw your energy, give him absence, but it's more so about now reinvesting that energy into yourself. Okay? It ain't just pulling away. It's going to reveal his true colors. The man who is truly invested in you and desiring of that connection, he's going to notice that you're pulling away and that your calendar is filling up with all of these new things or ways that you're just now taking care of yourself. And he's going to desire that privilege of being of value to you the way that he was before. It's going to show you. If he's truly that man that you think he is, he's going to show you. And if not, he's going to find a way to try to get you back or resist letting you feel like he misses you. Or he's going to express some type of defensiveness. Guess you don't need me no more. It's like, nah, when I needed you, you weren't there. So I'm going to make sure I take care of me. And just on your response now, I can see where you're at. I wasn't sure, but that kind of tells me everything I need to know. So we're good to go here. You ain't got to exist in no type of uncertainty. You ain't got to, and please, for those of y'all who feel like you got to be a man's secretary and you got to be his reminder system for dates and everything else, y'all, anytime a man needs you to remind him of all of the plans that he so-called set forth for the both of y'all, that is him also saying he doesn't want to do it. If it's constant, you have to remind him y'all's going to go on a date this weekend. You have to remind him about birthdays. You have to remind him about the trip you said y'all was going to take. You have to remind him that y'all was going to watch a movie tonight or have a conversation tonight or that he was going to rub your back tonight. You have to remind him. He's letting you know he doesn't really want to do it. And if you don't remind him, he's more than happy to just not do it at all. Stop being his little reminder system. You're not that man's secretary. He's a grown man. He's a grown man. And if he truly values your presence, he's going to show up. It may be 1 or 2 times where he needs you to kind of back him up and, jog his memory a little bit. But if that becomes a pattern, back up and stop being his reminder system. Back up. If he truly values you, he'll be the one to say, hey, look, these things are as important to me as they are to you. And you'll be able to see his true colors as a man that does value that connection and nurturing that connection and pouring into that connection. But if not, you're going to see that too. If you always the one he leaned on to solve all his problems in his life, close that 24/7 help desk and see if he can stand on his own. You see, sometimes his true colors ain't necessarily about whether or not he likes you or not. Sometimes his true colors is about, does he have the capacity to be a man? I'm all about men should have safe spaces and men should be soft and sometimes be able to cry. And okay, we're not talking about that. But there is a such thing as being a man, being a problem solver. And I've noticed that a lot of women will allow their love to coddle a man and therefore stunt his growth as a man who can problem solve. And so, you have these soft men who got babied and coddled and whatever by their mama, and then they go find a woman just like their mama that coddles them as well. Stop solving every problem for a man. Not every single one. At some point, you got to let that man stand on his own too. You need to see his true colors. Can he lead and safeguard a family? Can he protect you? Can he be the one that anchors you sometimes whenever you need it? Or does he just want you to be a surrogate mommy on an emotional level? And sometimes your absence isn't necessarily you pulling away or withdrawing. It's saying, I'm not going to teach you and tell you and detail every little thing when I've already told you before. And these are the things that you honestly should already know. Sometimes your withdrawal is from giving him this kindergarten, first grade level of guidance for things he should have came in already knowing. Pull away. If you're overcompensating for things he should have already known, pull away. Not in the form of not talking at all, but this means stop over-explaining things. He should have already known coming into that relationship as a grown man. Keisha says, how do I get a private talk? Tomorrow is your best chance, because tomorrow I'm doing a live masterclass, and I'm doing a Q&A at the very end on how to steer clear of commitment phobes. So for those of y'all who have not registered yet, this is a free masterclass, one-time live event, tomorrow, Saturday, January 4th, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. I put the link down in the comments if you don't see it. Somebody asked how to get one-on-one time with me. At the end, I do offer, because if you have some questions at the very end, I can't answer on the Q&A. I do offer the opportunity to get one-on-one with me as one of my mentees. But you got to show up to the live masterclass tomorrow. I put the link down in the comments. It's also in the caption. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, whenever you're dealing with a man, and if he's a mature man, it's going to register as a wake-up call to him to adjust, to step his game up. Because you still need those things done. You still require those things, right? But now that you're not over-explaining and overcompensating, it's on him. You're going to place the burden on him to do exactly what he promised he was capable of doing. And honestly, what you need to have done. You see, sometimes you're not dealing with a man based on if he's good or if he's bad in terms of if he's malicious and wants to hurt you. No, sometimes you're dealing with a man in his capacity, his condition. Does he even have the tools? Is he even equipped to love you and support you and take care of you on an emotional level, on a spiritual level? Otherwise, you're settling for good when you should have great. You've got to be willing to walk away from good when it's not good enough. Sometimes a man is honestly just not equally yoked with you. And that's okay, because he's equally yoked with somebody less. And the only thing that you're going to do by trying to force that to happen, regardless of what you're clearly seeing and that man's incapacity to love you the way that you need to be, is waste both of y'all time. And in 2025, we're not wasting no more time this year. We ain't got no more time to waste. We ain't wasting no more time this year. Dudes have all of the examples and information and Google searches that they wanted to prepare to be right for you. They would have done it by now. We ain't doing it no more. We ain't doing it no more. Tomorrow's not promised. Time waits for no man, and neither should you as a good woman. Again, I'm doing a live masterclass tomorrow to expose the red flags for commitment phobes. If you want in on that, I highly, highly suggest you go ahead and register right now at the link down in the comments. All new live masterclass tomorrow, live. How to steer clear of commitment phobes in 2025. I'm going to break it all the way down. Free. But you got to register now so you can get the link to be there on time. You got to register now. But this ain't about, I want y'all to understand something. This ain't about playing games. This is about being smart so you're not the one getting played. Whether he's being manipulative or whether, honestly, he's just not up to the task of loving you. It's not a manipulation tactic. It's a mirror. It's a mirror that shows him exactly what he's been taking for granted and what he already risked losing. It's a reminder that he's supposed to be a man without you having to create him into one. It's a reminder that you're okay being alone if he's not an upgrade to your singleness. If he just needs a reminder, he's going to show it and he's going to step up to the plate. But if you made a bad decision by investing in him from the very beginning, he's going to show that too. A man who's truly for you and ready for you is going to step up. Everybody less is going to step out. And that's exactly what you need to know. That being said, share this if you got something from it of value. Michelle, you don't have to give your phone number. If you don't want to join the class, you don't have to. The link is down in the comments. Because I give text message reminders as well, but the link is down in the comments. But you don't have to do anything if you don't want to join the masterclass. Actually, I like to keep this class small because it just works better. It flows better, and I can see everybody's comments when it's time to take the Q&A. So I love answering questions, and honestly, less people the better because I can see everybody's question. But definitely jump in. Let me go ahead and post it one more time. I'm posting a comment right now. If you don't see it pinned down to the comments, you have to click on it so it opens up. But I just posted again. Make sure you click on that. Jump on tomorrow. Register now And it's going to send you a link to jump on tomorrow so you can know how to steer clear of commitment foes, the red flags, the conversations that will reveal their intentions, all the time wasters in 20